What's up and welcome to My Point of View. I am your fat and opinionated host, and as most of you all should already know by now, yesterday, a trans terrorist by the name of Audrey Hale carried out one of the worst hate crimes we have seen in this country in recent history, taking the lives of 6 people, 3 students, and 3 staff members who all were at a local Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, yesterday I was hard at work reporting on this story. YouTube did not allow me to share a lot of the details. I was covering the story extensively over on Twitter. We uncovered a lot of information. I went to bed and I was hoping that when I woke up, more information would be released. Because we know there is a manifesto. We know this person left behind in detail why they did this, although we already know why they did this. We know that the information is there. It's there. But they don't want to release the information. So waking up this morning, I was hoping that I would wake up to some real news, that maybe somebody did some real journalism or actually did their job. But no, of course, that is not the case. Instead of the mainstream media focusing on why this happened, instead of the mainstream media worrying about the victims, instead of the mainstream media doing what they usually do and diving into the past of this suspect, what I saw was social media outlets backpedaling and apologizing for misgendering the person, the trans terrorist, that just took the lives of 6 individuals. I kid you not. Here's the New York Times. There was confusion later on Monday about the gender identity of the assailant in the Nashville incident. Officials had used she, her to refer to the suspect who according to a social media post and a LinkedIn profile appeared to identify as a man in recent months. So instead of worrying about the actual situation at hand, the media that we are supposed to rely on for the truth is out here apologizing because they accidentally called this woman what she actually is, a woman. Mind you, this woman, as far as they're reporting right here, only started identifying as a man in recent months. But that's all it takes. All it takes is a few months for you to be radicalized in this way of thinking. That's all it takes. And you see how fast this spiraled. Also, instead of actually telling the truth about this story, here's how the mainstream media is trying to frame it. I want you to look at this headline. Now, technically, this headline is true because Audrey was a former student at this school. But as you can see, this headline is very misleading. It's very misleading about who actually carried this attack out and their motive. Make no mistake about it, the motive was an attack on Christians in response to the latest bills and laws that have been passed in Tennessee. And all of that info has been left behind in the manifesto that they don't want to show people. Which is why they haven't shown people. Because if that manifesto was something about something else, they would have released it. So make no mistake about it, the motive was an attack on Christians. And I say that as someone who doesn't necessarily identify as Christian myself. I don't know what I am. But I know I'm not whatever this is. So this was a targeted attack on Christians. And what does the mainstream media do? The mainstream media doubles down on the attack on Christians by misleading people with this headline. And no one wants to report the truth about this story, because the truth is an ugly truth. But the truth is the truth. And a lot of people don't know how to feel about it. They don't know how to handle it. I've seen people who I respect, who cover news stories, who won't touch this story with a 10-foot pole. I've seen people who I respect who are bowing down to this mob of freaks and weirdos because they're pretending to be offended that reporters, journalists, police officers, me, they're offended that we have misgendered someone who just killed 6 people. Killed 6 people because they were radicalized by this freaking cult. That's what it is, a cult of people who are trying to confuse people, who are mainly after kids. But as I said, this whole attack was planned out. This isn't how I feel. These are the facts. The facts that were released yesterday. The facts that they are now trying to shy away from. But before carrying out this attack, Audrey sent these messages to a friend. I'll read them for you right now. So basically, that post I made on here about you, that was basically an unaliving note. I'm planning to die today. This is not a joke. You'll probably hear about me on the news after I'm gone. This is my last goodbye. I love you. See you again in another life. Audrey. Aiden. Audrey, you have so much more life to live. I pray God keeps and covers you. I know, but I don't want to live. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to upset you or get attention. I just need to go. I wanted to tell you first because you are the most beautiful person I have ever seen and known all my life. My family doesn't know what I am about to do. One day this will make more sense. I've left behind more than enough evidence, but something bad is about to happen. So Audrey herself admits that they left behind plenty of evidence to show why they did this. But they don't want you to know why they did this. They don't want to reveal this information, but you want to know what I find very ironic. In this moment, and I want you all to listen to these words. In this moment, where Audrey had reached the point of no return, she had made the decision that she was about to walk into a school and try to take the lives of children. She reached out to one person who she said was the most beautiful person she had ever met. In this moment, the person that Audrey reached out to, what did they say? Audrey, you have so much more life to live. I pray God keeps and covers you. Let that sink in for a second. Because Audrey was targeting that school for religious reasons. Audrey has been indoctrinated, or was indoctrinated, to believe that Christians were the enemy. And in the moment, the last person she reached out to, the one person she said was beautiful, the one person she trusted with this delicate information, this delicate time, was a person who believed in God, whose last words to Audrey was, I pray God keeps and covers you. So what does that tell you? What does that honestly tell you? I want you to think about that, and I want you to form your own conclusions. But I know what it tells me. Now, while you're here, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And as always, even in moments like this, even if your back is against the wall, always remain opinionated.